Hi all, in this video I'm going to give the answers of the interview questions that I've discussed in the previous shot. So the first question was that I have a validation rule that the record owner can never be Q, and at the same time we have an assignment rule which changes the record owner to the Q. In this case, will the validation rule fire? So let's go ahead and check. So right now I have this case, okay, and I have also the validation rule that if the owner ID does not contain 005, this means if the owner is not user, then in that case just throw an error saying that owner cannot be Q. So I'm going to go ahead and change the owner manually to the Q. Okay. If I change the owner, it's just showing me that owner cannot be Q. That's a validation rule, and that's perfectly working fine. Now let's move on to the next part, that is saying that there is an assignment rule as well. It says that if status equals to working, then assign the owner as POC approval Q. Now in that case, if I'm going to edit this case with status as working and click on this assign using active assignment rule, if I'm going to do it, let's check whether the owner is changed to Q or not. But if you notice that there is a validation rule already on this, so does the validation rule fires or not? Let's check that, and if the owner is changed, that means the validation rule is not fire for it. Let's save it. Now as you can see, even though there was a validation rule, it did not fire because custom validation comes above, and after that comes the assignment rules in the order of execution. And that's the only reason why first validation rule got executed. It did not find any error in that case because previously the owner was Salesforce in 5 minutes. And as soon as it moved forward, the case assignment rule updated it to a queue, but validation rule did not fire this time because it was already fired as per as the order of execution. Let's move on to the next question, is that can an inactive user be the owner of the record? So I have one user named as Pangrekar test. This is a user who is inactive, right? So let's try and make him the owner of the record. Test Pangrekar. Okay. So answer is that you won't be able to find the record user itself. So if I try to find another user, for an example, user test, if I try to find him as over here, I will be able to find, yeah, I'm able to find other users. But if you see, I'm not able to find this Pangrekar user. The reason is because he is inactive. So inactive user won't come in the owner field itself. Hence, you won't be able to make them as the owner of the record. So yes, inactive user cannot be owner of the record. For previous record, it's fine, but for the newer records, they won't be able to own the record. Let's move on to the next question. Can the public groups be the owner of the record? Now, public groups are specifically designed in order to implement the sharing rule for the group of people. If you have a group of people and you want to share a specific record based on criteria or owner, that's where you use sharing rules. So public groups cannot be the owner of the record. Q can be the owner of the record, but public groups can never be the owner of the record because they are used for sharing rule purposes. So this was all about this interview questions. If you found this video helpful, I request you to please like this video